All right, let's get to work, y'all. Let's start off with your boy Diddy. Did he do it? Did he not? I don't know. We're gonna figure this out, man. How long is this trial gonna take? 1 month, 2 months, 3 months? Go ahead, chat. How long y'all think this trial is gonna take? If I had to guess, and we can't use the YSL trial as a gauge, right? Because that's some historic Fulton County, Georgia shit. Okay, we can't use that as a marker, and you can't use the ASAP Rocky shit neither. Damn, Kelson says a year. Miss Carmen in the chat says 6 months. Sheesh, 6 months. I don't want to keep up with 6 months of content of this damn trial, man. And yep, yeah, I will. I promise you, I will. We're still covering all the Drake and Kendrick stuff. It's like once we started it, you cover it forever. Certain topics you cover forever. Um, 6 months we got here. Sassy got about a year. Damn, y'all are kind of swaying my. I was gonna say 3 months. I'm with y'all. I'm with y'all. Yeah, Cassie is. We about to get to that in a second. Oh, you see the joint up here. Yes, we're gonna get to all of that. Um, I was gonna say 3 months. All right, I'm with y'all. I'm gonna push to. I'm gonna take a number that nobody says. Right? If this was some prices right shit or whatever, I'm gonna take 7 months. All right. Um, the judge said July 14th to end. Yeah. We at May 10th. It starts the 12th, ending on July 14th. The judge said that. Okay, if that's what the judge said, the judge can't stand on a date as things change and move around. But if that's his target, that's incredible. I expected it to go much longer than that. Tiny also agrees with you. She's saying 2 months. Fed's case, month and a half tops. All right. All right. Well, let's talk about the recent developments over like the last 48 hours. So, as far as us getting the opening statement and opening arguments this Monday, that's still possible. Okay, it's very, very possible that that's how Monday by like early. I'm sorry, not early, late morning or early afternoon it goes. What are they dealing with still right now? As of Friday, the last report that I saw was jury decisions and jury selection is not complete. All right. The last update that I saw, which was Friday, or yesterday, I think they got the pool down to like 40 something people. Remember, what they got to end up with is 12 jurors, and then I believe there's like 6 stand-ins, right? So if something happens to juror number 11, you got a stand-in of the 6 that's on the side waiting to come in. That's your bench players, that's your substitution, right? So they don't have that complete. There was all types of developments throughout all week last week, as well as up to Friday. Somebody that was still in the pool, for example, that it wasn't disclosed to them that he had an ongoing lawsuit against the city. They want to know stuff like that. All right. So there's things that they're finding out wasn't disclosed. I see Misha in the building. Good morning, love. There's things that needs to be disclosed. Things that they feel like can impede somebody's bias to be a proper and a neutral juror. We already broke down how important jury selection within itself is for both the prosecution and the defense. So that was the last update that I saw in that regard. Why it's like, no, we got to finish this Monday. Well, we're supposed to start Monday. Okay, we'll do both. We'll finish up the jury selection Monday morning, and then we'll get to opening statements after. Some people might think like this last remaining pool of like 40 people, you think you're going to get through that Monday morning? Good luck. We'll see. We'll see. That's the reports that came out. So that's a big deal. That's a big deal. Victim 3, last I heard, was still not located. We'll see what happens with victim 3. But if you kind of want to balance, I mean, we can't go like for like, apples to apples, as far as the charges or the accusations per victim. Everybody's accusations and situations are different. Hell, even I'll be sure wants to come in. We'll get to his video in a second. But victim 3, last I seen, is on the lam. They can't get in touch with this person. But now there's this victim 5. So victim 5 is a new person that might be coming in. I don't know the legalities around that. I thought this type of stuff needed to be disclosed in like the last superseding indictment that we saw, where the new victim, all of that. That's what I thought. But I guess there's certain process and procedures that allow these new victims to come in or whatever. But as I understand this victim 5 is a new person. We'll see what's on the table. It's still said victim 1 allegedly is Cassie. They're still doing that dance. I don't know why. Um, but from the last couple of days in court, it's pretty solid to everybody at this point. Paperwork says victim one. It's from Cassie. Okay. Uh, I also saw a report that Cassie's lawyer was in the building last week. Okay, all the way up through Friday. So they're paying attention to things because Cassie is about to take the stand. It's another thing that I saw. We'll just see how that plays out. Cassie might be the first person up, i.e., right away. Like imagine seeing Cassie take the stand next week. It's a possibility. It's a possibility. Now, when we talk about Cassie, yes, you guys see up here on the screen. Let me go to the small screen now. Newsflash, people, Cassie is pregnant. This is how she's gonna be looking in court. You see this? What is this? Minimum 6, possibly 8, 9. Like, I mean, well, obviously, if you're in your ninth or in your final stages, then I don't know about signing on for court. Diddy's defense is probably begging that she gets real close to it, and if now that I think about it, maybe that is a reason why they would get her ass on the fucking on a stand next week right away. Let her get back to her pregnancy. We don't want the main star witness, right, hanging around 2 months in. She hasn't taken the damn stand. We didn't get as a prosecution, we didn't get everything that we needed out of her. And then it becomes a doctor's recommendation to not be going back and forth to this stressful court as you get closer and closer and closer to your delivery date. That's another bet that y'all can start putting in the chat. Will Cassie take the stand next week? I didn't think about that, but all right. So the talk around her showing up. Here's a debate, and I don't need to play the video for y'all. They're pretty much going to say the same thing that we're going to say right now. The perception of a pregnant Cassie, an alleged past victim of Diddy, sitting on that stand could be game changing. It's already bad enough that the footage is being allowed into court. Now, just imagine now trying to berate this woman with questions as the defense, trying to do a cross-examine, right? But you're doing it to a she's going to walk in there feebly. Somebody's going to hold her hand as she gets up there and braces herself to sit down on the stand. And it's going to look like a gentle, victimized, gentle woman. You don't think that the presentation, I'm not saying that she got pregnant for this trial, people. Don't let me go over your heads. But the presentation that is used in court, it's every day. It's no different than the murderer that shows up and for the first time ever, his lawyer puts a pair of glasses on him to look collegiate. That's how it goes, right? So you don't think the prosecution isn't highly going to try to exploit this as much as possible because people are already starting the discussion. We don't want to see, there's women, already covering this saying, we don't want to see the defense get up there and scream and berate and get so argumentative with this pregnant woman. It becomes a factor. It becomes a fucking factor. What's another factor for her being up there pregnant? The fact that she's moved on. She looks more wholesome, looks motherly, looks like a family person now. Okay? Because we already know one of the things the defense was always going to target. This was a mutually abusive relationship. We're going to get to that in a second, too. And possibly this woman was money hungry. We saw people like Kanye West publicly come out and say that she asked allegedly for $30 million. Diddy denied, and then here came the lawsuit. The defense would make sense for them to go after all of these angles to paint her as disgusting of a person as possible. But the image of her up there in front of the jurors, what they're going to see is this pregnant woman that moved on. You know what the pregnancy also symbolizes? A successful relationship. Now, we know that there's a lot of, baby mamas out there and baby daddies out there with broken homes and failed relationships. But we're just talking about imagery, people. The jurors have to get up there and look at this and see this. Your eyes are gateways to what you interpret, not just your fucking ears. And the prosecution is going to paint her as the person that would have been looking just like this if Diddy was a good man. Oh, I'm good. I mean, if I would do it, you don't think that these billion-dollar lawyer teams will do it and prosecutions will do it? What are we talking about? So this is believe it or not, that's a big situation. Yo, here's something I want y'all to peep real quick too. Side note, look at TMZ's website. The general background of their website is the Diddy trial. Is it United States versus Sean Combs inside the Diddy trial? This is what their website is now bolstering as top priority. It's TMZ. What do you expect? And look at this side of it. Him allegedly, should I say allegedly? I mean, we've seen it and he apologized for it, right? Diddy kicking Cassie in the hallway. So if you come to TMZ's website to look at uh, a Nas album release update, this is what you're going to see in the background. Diddy's lawyers need to send them a cease and desist. But TMZ is a big deal. You play with TMZ, you fight with TMZ, you're gonna be in for a fight. And here's another sidebar, has nothing to do with the Diddy trial. You ever notice on the top of TMZ when you see the categories, you see news, you see sports, you see hip hop, you see watch, you see photos, you see tours, you see deals. Cool. When we talk about music, there's only one genre, hip hop. You don't see a rock and roll category. You don't see a country category. You don't even see a reggae or an R&B category. Just a hip hop category. So when I tell y'all hip hop is the biggest music commodity in the world, TMZ and such likes believe this as well. No, it's not because we're the only ones that create news. If you dig into the weeds of some of these other genres and metal and punk rock and all that, I'm pretty sure you find a lot of bullshit there too. Right? But anyway, so back to this. We could read some of this. Diddy's lawyer better not bully the prosecution's very pregnant star witness when she takes the stand next week. So admonishes Nancy Grace. Cassie Ventura's upcoming testimony became an explosive topic on our new Tubi weekly series. Well, yeah, they have a series for it. So this is all promotion, money, engagement for TMZ. You could damn near feel the vibe that they're leaning towards this man being guilty, but it is what it is. All right. Nancy appeared with Harvey, Mark Garagos, Ashley Banfield, and Ebony K. Williams as they discussed the optics of grilling Cassie about the freak offs for which Diddy is being tried. And yeah, there's a picture of Cassie. It's a hard sell to a jury that a married, visibly pregnant mother of two, soon to be three, is a swinger who uses baby oil for things other than infants. I don't believe that. I mean, Brittany Renner got kids, doesn't she? Like, point proven right there. Boom. Like, come on. But I see it's the optics, people. Garrego's dared to suggest the defense will make the case the accusers are ex-girlfriends who shared mutual feelings with Diddy and that set Nancy off. So let's stay there for a second. Now let's go to that point. The point of mutually abusive. That's another thing that was pretty much stamped this past week. The defense has to go in that direction. Think about it. The video is allowed into court, people. And even if it wasn't allowed in, good luck convincing me that everybody on the jury hasn't already seen the damn video, right? And even if they didn't see the video, they would hear about it during this case, and they would leave jury one day, they would wrap for the day, they would go home and they pull his shit up. It's everywhere. You know what I'm saying? It's probably still on CNN site for all we know, right? You got imagery like this out there. You got Cassie that's about to testify and say, he also did this. He also did that. He beat me up here. He did this. He did that. Look at the video. What's happening in this video, Cassie? Explain this. Explain why you ran down the hallway. Oh, he just woke up. He started wilding out and I had to escape. And she's going through this, creating these visual pictures of all this. Now, when it's time for Diddy to counter this, because they can't skip over the Cassie video, they got to counter it. One of their biggest counters is going to be not to lie to what we've all seen with our own eyes already, but is to accept it and say, yeah, but she did this too. Now, are they lying? Who the fuck knows? Has Cassie ever punched them in the face? Who the hell knows? But to paint a picture of this was just a Blueface and Krishan Rock toxic ass situation where we hitting on each other, we beating on each other, and you might see Ike and Tina walk up to the receptionist in the hotel and they both got black eyes and bleeding noses. That's the picture that Diddy's going to have to turn around and say now. I get it. What other direction do you go with this? There's not much else to go, especially once they play this damn video. If they play this video week 1 or week 2, man, you can see they're going for blood. Well, that's what's going to happen anyway. But What's some of the other big updates other than the mutual violence? The prosecution, I believe, said that there's multiple versions and angles of this CNN footage, and they will be playing it. Now that was a big contention, right? CNN and Diddy's side tried to get it thrown out because they were saying that the footage was altered. Was it slowed down? Was it sped up? Was a piece taken from the end and put in the beginning, and a piece from the beginning put in the end, and you put it out of sequence? And did you remove the piece when she pushed me? But now we're talking about the prosecution is going to play multiple versions and possibly pieces of the video that the world didn't see yet. They're going to play that to the jurors. I mean, think about it like this too. If the jurors want to play it, then that means it can't be good, right? But there may be more than what the world has already seen that's about to come into this damn courtroom. That's why we're not going to see it. I don't think we're going to be, unless somebody leaks it or somebody sells it to TMZ after the trial's over. But that's tough. That's tough. I wonder if Diddy's team had an opportunity to see that footage. Why wouldn't they? As submitted evidence, right? Don't you get that in discovery? Right. So I assume maybe they've seen that. We'll see how they try to defend that. Um, that's probably one of the last biggest pieces process wise. Let's get to the I'll be sure thing. I'll be sure has some stuff to say recently, and if they bring him into court based on this talk show that he just did, he's gonna go all out. He believes that he's been through hell and back because of Diddy, and if he takes that stand, that's just another mountain that Diddy and his defense is gonna have to climb.
Posted.
Oh, spooky,
I knew that I
spooky, spooky, spooky. I wonder if they're gonna call him up. I wonder if. I wonder if he said he was subpoenaed, but I wonder if they're gonna call him up. Imagine, I'll be sure it doesn't come across like definitely not in this interview, right? But in general, the clips and the things I've seen of him over the years, I never got a clout chasing vibe. I never got a he's just out here making up shit like he's in some Jaguar right type bag. I never got that from him. Does that mean everything he wants to say about Diddy is true? No. I'm gonna remain fair, but I don't know how you prove that his liver failure and organ failure, et cetera, is related to Diddy. I mean, unless you paint a picture that it's a stressful environment and whatnot. I mean, if you're talking about, your spleen ruptures after getting stomped out, that's one thing, right? But we're not talking about a violent situation. But things like related to his career and blackballing or any harassment or threats, and they have a woman in common too, a very important woman to Diddy, right? So it comes off like this man has just been through so much, and if he gets the opportunity to get his lick back, you know, he'd love to. Now, will he turn around and do something like write a book after? That's the type of question that they asked him for a second. He was like, "This ain't about publicity," you know. And you see people come out the woodwork every day when somebody that they're associated to or has a history or a past to makes headlines. That definitely is a reality. But this man, imagine him taking a stand, speaking what he pertains to be his truth, and then walking off into the sunset. Oh, that's just related to, nah, this is my get back. This is my get back. And there's too many people in the world. There's a bunch of people in this chat that just do not believe that Diddy is an angel. Actually, we believe there's a lot of demon shit that he's done. The freak off stuff and his personal sexual life is his business. But that Cassie video, in my humble opinion, is something that he's done multiple times to multiple people. You hear about his temper, you hear about his violence, we hear about people getting their cars blowing up allegedly, right? Kid Cudi allegedly. You hear all these things around his name for years, years, and none of it is true. So we'll see what happens with I'll be sure. But all right. Let's move on to the next topic. We'll see what happens Monday for Diddy. I don't expect us to be back here tomorrow morning and get no other Diddy updates because the court is closed, right?